Right, Steelseries Prime versus Pulsar XLite Wireless. So compared to the regular sort of EC2 shape, the Prime is kind of pared down, or like materials taken out wherever they can. So the way these curves are cut into the back lets your palm kind of wrap around it more closely. And then this curve can be a little bit more aggressive as a result because your thumb can actually sit in here. There's no flare that kind of pushes it out wide like this. So it's actually fairly sleek in that sense. Similarly, your pinky knuckle can push further forward, which helps pull your pinky further inward and thus makes it relatively comfortable to use, even though it actually feels narrower. Um, so because your palm isn't like as just flat back here, you can kind of wrap your hand around the mouse a little bit more. The lower button height complements that as well. Like it really, you don't want to do like a full palm grip because you can't lift it that well. But yeah, like this kind of thing where it's like mostly palm grip just with a curled pinky, it feels like it's almost difficult to get a bad grip on the mouse. Like it feels like it's built for the way that my hands are shaped and want to grab this mouse. So that part is really nice. Switches are good if a bit loud, but nice and positive engagement and rebound well for spam clicking. Again, perhaps not the best sound, but nicer than like the opticals on the Cone Pro, for example. Side buttons are surprisingly crispy and tactile, which is pleasant. I also like the ones on the XLite, but these are just, I mean, I wish they were slightly larger, but the actual feel of them is very good. Very little, if any, pre-travel, and pretty minimal post-travel, and nice and crisp. Scroll wheel, yeah, not nearly as smooth as the XLite. A little bit more tactile and noticeably louder. Feels like it's has a little bit of rattle. Something about the mounting. Yeah, the wheel can just move around a little bit. Reminds me of the Gladius that I had where it wasn't quite bolted in correctly, felt like. So that could be better. I don't know if that's just this copy or if that's generic to all primes. But yeah, coating materials good. Feels maybe like it could wear down over time, like in the thumb area here. I think it would get less grippy. But thankfully, because they've got it cut so that it flares out towards the top in that area, then you've still got an easy enough time lifting the mouse, I think. And similarly, this right side is convex enough towards the bottom that your fingers can actually wrap underneath it, and they genuinely feel like they're lifting up on it instead of just trying to like squeeze it and then lift it. So that's actually genuinely quite good. So yeah, you can tell there's been a lot of work and development put into this to sort of try and improve every little aspect of like the EC2 shape to maybe a slightly higher standard. And I appreciate that. It's a nice shape and overall a very good mouse. Now the build quality is again right up there. I mean, this is a good copy of the XLite, and the Prime still feels a little bit more solid than that. And yeah, so generally speaking, again, me being kind of a cheapskate, I don't think this is a $130 mouse, but you know, if I say this is a $75 mouse, definitely, maybe I would call this an $80 mouse, and I would say that that's fair. Then this guy, I would say, is in that ballpark, 85 maybe, if you don't mind the extra weight, of course. 60 grams on this is a complete game changer. If you're a fan of lightweight mice, there's just no contest. But in general, if you're really searching for build quality, you're not a big fan of holes, and an 80-gram mouse doesn't bother you, Yeah, the way that the Prime is sculpted to really work with um, kind of this nice full palm contact with a shallower hump that really gives you a relaxed and comfortable feel. That's a really well developed shape, and I appreciate that they've put in the time and effort to do that. Um, so if you can find one on sale or marked down in good condition or what have you for, I'd say, 90 bucks or less, it's worth considering for sure. And it's one of the better options that are out there right now. I haven't had any issues with the liftoff distance on the 3335 either. It's low enough that I can't really tell the difference from like the X-Lite. There's no Origin 1X. Oh, very occasionally it feels like it tracks when I don't want it to. There's none of that. The sensor's not a problem as far as I can tell.